Hello everyone, if you're here, you are currently pregnant, you know someone who is pregnant, or you have heard of the word preeclampsia. Preeclampsia is a serious pregnancy complication that occurs normally after your 20th week. For me, it occurred for my first at 35 weeks, my second was 35 weeks and 2 days, and my third was 34 weeks. I had severe preeclampsia, meaning I needed to be induced right away. Today I'm going to be sharing my first birth story with all of you and what exactly happened and why I had to deliver early. So my first is a girl and her original due date was June 20th, Father's Day. And we were so excited, but unfortunately this was time during COVID. So when I first found out I was pregnant, I also found out I was positive for COVID. So I felt like absolute crap and I had no idea like what emotion to show because I couldn't eat anything because of pregnancy and because I couldn't taste anything due to COVID. But as I started to get around my 10-week mark, stuff started to get better. So my pregnancy was going by very well, actually. I mean, I would go on hikes with my fiance. I was able to eat everything and anything I wanted. And once I approached my 34 weeks with her, like I just started to feel a little bit off, but I just let everything bypass. I was like, okay, like this is just normal symptoms. In a couple weeks, I'll be delivering, and you know, that's how pregnancy is. It's just like a little roller coaster. Anyways, so once I got to 35 weeks, it was exactly on my 35-week mark. Like I remember taking a Snapchat of my belly and I was so excited, like, oh my gosh, we're almost there, we're gonna meet her. So I remember I started having like a really bad headache. It wouldn't go away. So I took Tylenol, and then with the Tylenol, normally it helps me when I have headaches, and this wasn't helping at all. So then I started feeling like I needed to, throw up. So I went to the restroom and my head was pounding. I started seeing black and white dots flying, like in my vision sight, it was just crazy. And I was like, something's happening. And then I started feeling like tingling in my hands, in my feet, and I felt like I was gonna pass out. So my fiance's like, hey, like you should contact your doctor or labor and delivery or call the nurses line, something. So I did. And they were like, we recommend you drink some caffeine and close your eyes, make sure your room is dark, make sure there's AC on, and see how you feel after that. So I did all of those things and I felt worse. So I ended up calling my doctor and they're like, you have to call labor and delivery. So I did, and sure enough, they're like, oh yeah, you can come in and we'll evaluate you. Sure enough, I went in, I tested positive for COVID again. Yes, again. And I did labs, I did a urine test, I did an ultrasound, I did all the tests out there. And sure enough, I had protein in my urine, which that's what they look for. And they look for some other signs. So once they found that my urine levels of the protein were like high, they're like, sorry, but we have to admit you. And I was like, what? I'm only 35 weeks. What do you mean? And they're like, yeah, like you're gonna have this baby early. And I was just like, I went into labor and delivery like just for a regular, check-in. And I drove myself there. And sure enough, I had to call my fiance and was like, hey, they told me they're inducing me. And this is our first child. So we were like, what in the world is happening? Our baby shower was supposed to be that weekend. So we had nothing ready for her. We didn't have a crib built for her. We didn't have a car seat, nothing, no clothes or wash. We didn't have diapers, the basic baby stuff we needed to bring a baby home. And sure enough, I messaged my family like, hey, this is what's happening. I'm going to be having this baby, but I have COVID, so I can have no visitors. It's just me and my fiance in the delivery room and the doctors and nurses. And sure enough, I went in on a Tuesday and I had my daughter on a Friday at 2:35 in the morning. And this process took forever. I'm telling you, I had magnesium hooked up to my IV and I could not get out of bed due to it because they have women who are on have preeclampsia, they have them hooked to magnesium right away. One, because preeclampsia can lead to stroke, seizures, and more complications during your delivery or in the process of being induced. So they put you on magnesium so they prevent you from having those, seizures and stuff. And it's a big deal. Like on my bed, they put padding on the side in case I had a seizure. It was just, crazy. Once my magnesium started, my Pitocin, I had a Foley balloon that they inserted into my cervix to help me dilate. I got to 4 centimeters, so it was progress. And I just remember, like, I felt so hot. I felt like my whole body was on fire. I just felt like I was just gonna melt, honestly. I know it's exaggerated, but that's how I felt. I had nurses bring me cold rags to put all over my body. I had even one nurse brought in like some fans. She's like, oh, I just got them from different departments and floors or whatever. And I was like, wow, thank you. So I had to keep a mask on, it sucked because I was going to be delivering a baby. And the nurses came in with their white coats and they had covers on their shoes, their gloves, their hats, their masks. Like, it was really serious. Like, we were quarantined in a labor and delivery room. So yeah, once I had the baby, she was 4 pounds, very, very tiny. And I remember just knocking out right away. Like, the nurses tried to have me latch and I'm like, just go away. Like, I'm tired. I have not ate anything. Like, I couldn't eat anything. I just had some chocolate pudding, some ice chips, and that was pretty much it. One, because you can't have anything when you're in labor and on that medication. So water and ice chips were like the life and the best of me during that time. Like, I kept asking for them. And I remember just like telling the nurse, like, just stop. Like, let me eat my sandwich. I just gave birth. I'm hungry. Like, just go away, please. And she tried to like latch the baby to me. And I'm like, come on. And I ended up falling asleep. Like, that's how tired I was. And I couldn't even get to enjoy those moments, sadly. Like, it was sad. And then I remember like waking up from a deep, deep sleep, and my fiance was right there, the doctors, the baby was in my fiance's arms, and everybody was just like, are you okay? Are you okay? I'm like, what happened? And my fiance like, you weren't waking up. Like, the doctors and the nurses tried to like have you wake up and you weren't. And I was like, because I was so freaking tired. Like, that's how long labor was. And with the medicine, the magnesium was still pumping. Like, I was just tired. And then I remember the doctors coming in and telling my fiance, like, oh, are you ready? And I was like, ready for what? And they're like, oh, your daughter has to go to the NICU. And I looked like, what do you mean? Like, what is the NICU? At that time, I didn't know what it was. Like, it's a first time mom, first time birth experience. And sure enough, she had to go to the NICU because she couldn't regulate her body temperature on her own. One, because she was so small, she was so tiny that her body was still trying to work up like, hey, how do I control my temperature? How do I feed? How do I do that stuff? So she went in the NICU and she was in there for almost about a week. And unfortunately, I had to stay on the postpartum floor, and it was so hard. I remember just looking at my fiance like, dude, this sucks. Like, all the babies in this floor like are with their moms and their dads. Family get to visit them, like, they're crying, and my baby's in the NICU. Like, I can't even go visit her because, one, the magnesium has to drip after delivery for 24 hours. Like, you can't just say take the IV off. Like, you have to let it drip. When you have preeclampsia, it has to finish. And after that, then you need to learn how to walk and do all that stuff. And then, like I said, I had COVID during that time, so I wasn't sure. They had to test me again to make sure I was negative because I'm going down to the NICU where there's micro preemies, there's babies like as small as mine, there's my baby in there. So thank God I was negative by that time. And honestly, I thought and think that I had a false positive test because all the nurses were saying like, oh yeah, she's false positive. Like, a lot of other women are getting false positives in here. And I'm like, dude, that's not cool. So yeah, I had to stay on postpartum, and thank God they allowed me and the baby to both be discharged together from the hospital. So I got to go in the wheelchair down to my car and have her in my arms. And now my 4-pound baby girl is now a 4-year-old and weighs 37 pounds. So she's overcame a lot of obstacles, but honestly, she's healthy, she's smart, she's kind, she's loving, she's a great big sister, and I wouldn't change anything for that experience. But unfortunately, I did have it. I had it for my second and my third. But later on, I'll explain those stories. But thank you all. Please like this video if you're a mom who has gone through preeclampsia. If you're a mom who's pregnant right now and going through preeclampsia, if you know somebody, please share this video. Please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe, because I will be voicing out and advocating why preeclampsia is so serious, and unfortunately there's no cure for it. There's no medicine. There's pretty much nothing you can do, and the only thing you can do is deliver early. So please like and share, and I'll be back for more.